In this video, we are going to discuss about Pandas series, why Pandas are used in Python, and what are the several functions which are there or attributes which are there in Pandas. So Pandas are mostly for data analysis and provides tool for data manipulation. That means to reshape a data, merge, sort, slice, and aggregation. It also allows handling of missing data, that is missing values in Panda, which we will discuss in our upcoming videos. So Pandas in Python stands for, it is a Python package and it deals mostly with series, that is 1D homogeneous array, and data frame, that is 2 labeled heterogeneous array. Also it has a panel, that is general 3D array. Now here listed are some popular attributes along with their description. D-type is an attribute, that is data type value in series. It determines that what type of data is given inside that particular series. And firstly we are going to discuss about series only. Empty returns true if the series is empty. Size return the number of elements, how many elements are there in the Pandas series. Values returns values as an ND array, that means it changes to ND array, that means the NumPy array. Head function or this attribute's first n elements it returns. Now you can pass the parameters in the parenthesis. By default, if you are not passing any parameter, then it returns 5 top values, whereas tail returns the bottom 5 values which are there, and if you are passing the parameter here, then it will return according to that values only. Now let us see that how can we create a Pandas library, and Pandas library is built on top of NumPy. That means Pandas needs NumPy to operate. So firstly let us see that how can we create a NumPy array. So that we have also seen when we're discussing about NumPy, that data is equals to NP and then you just print that data, so it returns. Now how can we change this particular NumPy array into the Pandas series? So for that we write here a variable ser pd.series, this particular data is passed, and then print that series. So the data did change, and it is actually done indexing with all the elements, that is 0, G, 1 for O, 2 for E. So indexing is done for each and every element. So let us execute this code and see how can we create a NumPy array to our Pandas series. So here firstly what we need to do is we have to import a few things, such as import pandas as PD and import NumPy as NP. Next what we are going to do is we are going to create a simple NumPy array, that, and then we are going to pass it in data np.array and now I'm going to pass the letters which we have seen in the example of GoEdu Hub. So G, O, so these are the values which we have passed in this particular array, and then we're going to print this data. Now as I execute this particular cell, you can see that an array is printed having all the letters. Now if I want to change, that means the data type and the object here is object, and I want to change it to the Pandas series, then how can I do that? So I have to simply create a variable ser, and then I have to change it, and I have to write here pd.series, and I have to pass the data which was there, and then print series. When I execute this cell here, you can see that it is the Pandas series, and each letter is initialized with an index number also, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can also print the D type which is there, that is object, and if you want to then you can check here the type of this is Pandas core series, that means this actually is a series. So that is there, it is converted into a pandas series. Next, if we want to generate a series of random numbers and give index according to us, previously we have seen that the index is given as 0 1 2 3 4 numeric index, but if I want to give an index of my own, then how can I do that? So if I initialize a series s1 here and write pd dot series, and I want to generate the random number values also, so I will write here np dot random and first 5 numbers I just want to generate, only 5 numbers, and I want to give the index also. So index equals to, I want to give the index as a, b, c, d, and e. This is the index which I want to give, and next I want to print the series, that is s1. So print s1. And here you can see that it is displaying index that we have given a, b, c, d, e, and 5 random values are generated, and d type here is float 64. Why? Because it is of the numbers which are generated are floating point values. Next, we want to create a series from dictionary. That is a type of dictionary we want to make and then print it in pandas series. So how can we do that? Simply what we have to do is we have to write, I am creating a variable named data equals to, and dictionary we know that we use curly braces and it is a key value paired thing. So firstly for pi, let's say I want to display the value as 3.14, and for exponential we're creating again a variable e, a key e, and that is going to print 2.71. So these are the values. Now it is a dictionary. Okay, so firstly when I will print the data, it will get printed in form of dictionary. Now I want to convert this. So how can I do that? I will create a variable s3, and what it is going to do, simply I'm going to write here pd dot series, and then I'm going to write here data, and I'm going to print the s3. When I execute this particular cell, here you can see that firstly it is shown in form of a dictionary, and then it is shown as pandas series, and data type is float, obviously because the values of pi and exponential I have given as floating point values. Next example is if we want to see that how elements are returned in pandas series. There are many ways to slicing is done, but how can we do that in pandas series particularly? So let us write a code about that. Firstly what we're going to do, we're going to generate random numbers, and 5 numbers which will be generated, and then we will check for returning of the any of element of the index. So that can be very simply done. Let's see how. We're creating a series s1, and that is having pd dot series, and next it is also going to generate np dot random of 5 numbers. Next, firstly we're going to print this series, that is s1, and next what we're going to do is we're going to firstly return the 4th element. So the index which we will give is 3. So s1 3. Now as you execute this particular cell, here you can see that at the 3 there is this particular number. So firstly the whole series is printed, and then at the 3rd index number is present, that is return. Now if you want to check for first 2 elements which are there in the series, then how can you do that? You have to simply write s1, keep this first as blank, and just print here 2. So this will be exclusive and it will start from 0 1. So first 2 elements will get printed. So these are the first 2 elements which are there. Similarly, if you want to view the index value, then how can you do that? How can you view for index values? So you have to simply write print s1 dot index. So the index actually starts from 0, stops at 5, and it has a step of 1. One step each it is counting. So that is for the index value which is there. Next, series can be used as an NP array also. That is a NumPy array. And how can we do that? For example, we print a median and we check that median. So let us write here print median, and it is going to fetch us s1 dot median, and NumPy function can be used on series as usual. So what we have to write here is s1, then it is going to check for s1 greater than median. It returns the median for s1, and then again comparing the median s1 dot median which we have checked, that is the second and the fourth value it is returning us. Next, convert a series into an array. How can we do that? So for that we simply use values. For example, this is the array which we have, or series, and we can write here simply values. When I do that, it returns me the array instead of the series. So it is particularly a Pandas series and this is an array. So we have to simply use the function or the attribute dot values for doing that. Next, we can also add particular elements, and Pandas series, unlike ND array, automatically align the data based on the label. So how can you do that? As for example, you create another S4 series and that is storing the range of element of Pandas series till 6 series, and you give a range, so that is of positive values 6. Next, what you're going to do? You're going to print the S5 first, and then we have to check with the elements that what are the individual elements which are there in the series. So we're going to add those two particular series. So how can we do that? We have to simply write two print statements. That is firstly the S5 beginning and ending with -1, and it is starting with 1, and then we're going to add both the series like this: print S5 S1 and print S5 1. And lastly, we're going to add both the series, that is S5 1 plus S5. Execute this particular block. You can see that it is firstly printing the series which range 6 which we have given, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it is printing that a series only S5 which we have given in the first statement, and then it is printing -1, that is traversing from the backside, so it eliminates the 0 and it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the two elements which are there, and now it is doing the addition of both the elements. So when these two elements, these particular two series are added, the first column and the last column leaves to be blank. So that's why it is returning NaN. NaN stands for not a number. It is used to specify the missing values in Pandas, and we will discuss about missing values in Pandas and how can we operate with that in our upcoming video.